Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about falling off the wagon, the financial wagon, and how to get back on track. So let's talk about that. All right, so maybe you were trying to get out of debt, or you were saving for a house, or you were saving for a vacation, or you were saving for retirement, and something happened. Maybe you got sick, or maybe you were divorced, or maybe you got tired, because getting out of debt takes a lot of patience. And maybe you were looking at a really long list of debts and you just got exhausted and you just were like, forget it. We can't do this anymore. I need a break. And then so you slipped back into old ways, and maybe you started, using your credit card again, or you just sort of stopped paying on debts. Maybe you're even behind on stuff now. And there's so many pressures right now. I feel, things are expensive. And then also, I know for us, we have 4 kids, and it does feel as if everyone's always asking us for money. So the school's always saying, it'll be $10 for this or $15 for that, or they have birthday parties to go to and we have to buy a gift, and, they have field trips and it'll be, $50, for the field trip. So it just really does start to add up, and it is very difficult to constantly be saying no. It's exhausting to have to be like, no, we can't do that. We can't go to this, because right now we're trying to reach, a financial goal, or we're trying to reach a goal, we have to stick to a budget. We can't do that. And it can really start to wear you down after a while. And this can go on for years. It can take years. And, so I totally get it. Like, I understand. So first of all, I think you should absolutely forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. It's okay. And you can do this. Just because you may have failed, it didn't work out the first time, what you know for sure now is that you are more experienced. You're more experienced the second time, the third time, the fourth time, even if it's your 5th time, and you're like, we keep trying this and it's not working. You do know what didn't work. So try to evaluate what didn't work before so that you can change things up a little bit and try to, make it work this time, right? So it's okay. Forgive yourself and say, we're going to do this again. We're going to decide. So that's the first thing you have to do in order to get back on the wagon. That is to decide that you are going to do this again, right? So make the decision, and then you have to take action. You need to show up for it, right? So it's just like with fitness, in the new year, people are like, it's the new year, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to go to the gym. But maybe they made the decision to do that. But if you don't actually put your sneakers on and get to the gym, then you're not going to reach that goal. And then you have to start canceling something, doing something different than what you've been doing, right? So, maybe you need to cancel that gym membership or, cancel some subscriptions or stop going out for coffee. And even if it's a little tiny bit of progress, it's going to help you to get back on track, right? So it's like one less coffee that you're purchasing that week. It's going to, you will, that's like something to help motivate you to get it going, right? And so tracking your progress is also very important. So, you write any little small win. So it might seem insignificant, but when you're going into a journey as far as getting out of debt, it can, like I said earlier, it can take years. So any tiny little progress that you make, you should definitely track it so you can look at it and feel some sense of momentum. Because if you don't track it, you're going to feel like you're not getting anywhere, and that will be discouraging, and it is hard to continue. So whether you have a chart, and maybe a spreadsheet, or even, something on your calendar, there's so many ways to track progress. I did a video a long time ago about how we had little cards every month where we wrote down how much debt we had paid off, and then we ripped up the card at the month and stomped on it. That's what we all did. The kids did that. And so whatever mechanism you can find or come up with just to track it. But in saying that, don't make it overly complicated. I've heard people talk about how they have like all these spreadsheets, and I'm a spreadsheet girl. I love spreadsheets. But if you have all these spreadsheets, or you have tons of line items in your budget, it could be that you're going to overwhelm possibly yourself or your spouse if they're doing this with you, or your partner. And so you want to be careful that you don't make it so like confusing, and then you just like, oh my God, I can't keep up with this, or your partner's like, I can't manage this. This is too much. So really try to simplify it as best as you can. And, I would say cut out as much as you can to sort of start with a clean slate. because that's what we had done when we had first started to get out of debt, is we just canceled everything. Like I canceled all subscriptions. We canceled any kind of activities the kids were in. We just like shut it all down. And then we could start again from there to pull back in the things that we thought were really important, or the things that we really wanted to continue to budget every month for, and that we could budget for, that we had the money for. But in the very beginning, maybe the first couple months, when you're trying to get back on track, just make it a clean slate and just cancel it all. And then that way you can always go back. You can always go back to it. But that way you have a chance to sort of see how, like, your baseline as far as, how much money you have coming in, what you're paying out towards debts or what you're paying out towards savings goals, and then you can layer those things back in. Because really those subscriptions do kind of catch up with you. You have all kinds of different, Hulu and Netflix, and before at one time we had like all of them. And I was like, what are we doing with Sling and all this stuff? Like, we don't need all of these different providers. So if you just cancel everything, also, maybe you have some random subscriptions that you didn't even know you were paying for. So just kind of take stock of what you have there and just try to clean it up. Okay, also triggers. Triggers, I think, are important. What triggers you to spend money? So if it's certain people you spend time with or places you go, I see this as sort of like an addict who's trying to quit smoking or quit drinking. They often say, like, stop spending time with the people that you smoke with or drink with, or going to the places where you often would go to sit and drink or smoke or whatnot. You want to try to avoid people or places that make you want to spend money. And so it's kind of a shift in your usual routine, if you will. So that way it'll help to prevent you from spending that money. And also, like, I really am a big fan of that movie Labyrinth. It's a really old movie with David Bowie. But in that movie, there's the ending scene there. The main character, Jennifer, what's her last name? But at the end of the movie, she realizes she has to save her little brother. And she realizes all of the stuff that she used to value and treasure, all of the little knickknacks and stuffed animals in her bedroom. And she says, it's all just junk. It's all junk. So I think of that scene often when I am shopping, because I like to go to Home Goods. I love that store. But I look at all the little metal cute signs that they have in there. And sometimes I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is so cute. Oh, I love this. And then I'm like, well, if I take it home, probably in like 2 months, I'm going to think it's a piece of junk, and it's going to end up at, Goodwill or in a yard sale. So are the things you're buying things that you think you might be wanting to give away in 6 months or a year or 2 years? And is it going to end up in a yard sale or at Goodwill, or broken? A lot of times I think, if I bring this home, it's going to get knocked over. It's going to be broken. This is ridiculous. So I really leaned into minimalism as best as I could while we were trying to get out of debt. And I still do. And I still have more progress to do in that department. But like, the more you kind of clean out and you just kind of try to develop that minimalistic mindset, it actually really does help with consumerism and purchasing and shopping and wanting stuff. Because if you maybe just like to identify yourself that way for a little while, it really might help you to not purchase things, and help you with your friends and family to be like, you know what, we're really leaning into this minimalistic lifestyle right now. So I'm not shopping. I don't really want to buy anything. I don't want to bring more things into my house. Or, so that could really help. That way you don't have to say specifically like, we're trying to get out of debt, which people don't always want to share with others. So you might just be like, well, we're minimalist now, so I don't really want to buy anything, but I'll come with you and walk around, and we can, as long as you can handle that. I mean, once you verbalize it to people, usually that helps. If you say, I'm not going to buy anything, I don't want to buy anything, then hopefully you really won't buy anything when you go walk around the store. Okay, and then lastly, just remember the reason why you want to get out of debt. Remembering the why. If you watch or listen to from Meet Sethi, he talks about, really being clear on what your rich life is. Like, what does that mean to you? Be specific. Don't just say, I want to get out of debt or I want to save money. And I definitely agree with that. I think it's really important to have a bigger why, or, defining what your rich life is. Why are you doing this? For us, it was really important to me that we could go on vacation once a year with the kids, go to the shore, and that we could do it debt-free and, paid for in full, to the point that I could really enjoy the trip. And I knew that we had savings set aside in our vacation fund to, you know, eat out or buy things while we were on vacation, and that I could really enjoy the trip and enjoy the experiences with the kids without feeling super stressed about, you know, how we were going into debt for the trip and we'd have to come home and I had to pay it off. I know I didn't like ever that feeling of the trip coming home with us. Like I just wanted it to be completely paid off so we could really enjoy time with the kids and those experiences that we were paying for, whether it was go-karts or mini golf or whatever we were doing. I could go and we could pay for it and we could do it and I could feel good about it. So that was one of our whys, or one of my whys, why it was so important to me. But there has to be some kind of reason, and I'm sure there is if you really think about it, and maybe discuss it with your partner or with a friend, or write it down if you don't have anyone to talk to, or write it in the comments of this video if you want to. What is your why? Why, you know, what's the reason for doing all this, for sacrificing and taking the time, however long it might take, however many years, because, you know, the years seem long, and it is long and it's hard to get through, but you will get through it if you continue to be consistent and keep at it. And so just try to remember those reasons why you're doing this. Okay. So I really hope this helps you guys. If you have gone back into debt, or you feel like you've just kind of lost your way, which we all have been there. I certainly have been there many times for about many different things. And but you can get back on the wagon. You can do this. You can get out of debt, or you can reach your savings goals. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And at the end here, a huge thank you to everybody who left comments on my last video. Unbelievably kind. And I'm so grateful to all of you for really supportive words. And it's so sweet. And thank you so much. I read them all, and I'm so grateful. I don't know how to express it adequately, how much that meant to me. So thank you guys. Okay. So, all right. So I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.